Let's meditate on these words of Swami Kriyanandaji's from Affirmations for Self-Healing on Self-Control. If a lake is made to feed into too many streams, it will soon become drained. Similarly, if a person's heart's energies are fed into countless streamlets of desires, he becomes drained, eventually of even the power to feel. Sated with pleasure, he grows dry, blasé, and indifferent to even the greatest wonders. The sensualist imagines that by giving up his pleasures, he would renounce happiness. But in fact, the more one restrains his senses and learns to live in the peace of the inner self, the more he finds himself glowing with happiness, good health, and a radiant sense of freedom and well-being. Please affirm with me out loud, then more and more quietly, and then silently. I am strong in myself. I am complete in myself. The joy and perfection of the universe await discovery within my inner being. I am strong in myself. I am complete in myself. The joy and perfection of the universe await discovery within my inner being. I am strong in myself. I am complete in myself. The joy and perfection of the universe await discovery within my inner being. I am strong in myself. I am complete in myself. The joy and perfection of the universe await discovery within my inner being. Mentally now, I am strong in myself. I am complete in myself. The joy and perfection of the universe await discovery within my inner being. Pray silently with me now. I crave nothing that the world can give me, Lord. O infinite perfection, make me one with thee. Om Shanti. Shanti. We'll have the readings now. First from the Gita and then from Whispers from Eternity.
The topic today is very succinct. It is staying centered in the chaos. And this is a reading from Essence of the Bhagavad Gita, 1820. O Arjuna, understand that influence to be sattvic, in which the one indestructible spirit is perceived as residing in all beings and not as separate in each of them, undivided in the divided. The image of motion picture theater is apt here. The countless images on the screen are only changing manifestations of the one light shining steadily behind the film in the projector. Such is the sattvic view of reality. It influences everything one does by bringing a unity to what others see as disunity, and harmony, therefore, to what others see as disharmony or even chaos.
Reading from Whispers from Eternity, it is demand to be freed from self created evil habits and temptations. Let's listen to Master. Teach me, O Spirit, to distinguish between my soul's lasting happiness and the temporary pleasures of the senses touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. Strengthen my willpower. Teach me not to be enslaved by bad habits. Teach me to be guided only by good habits formed by good company and meditation. Teach me above all to be guided by thy wisdom. Teach me to shun evil by right judgment and discrimination. Teach me willingly to adopt all good ways, influenced only by inner freedom and not compelled to evil by hardened habits.
Good evening to everyone, and welcome. It's a joy to be with you and share with you. I hope you've been following some of the wonderful programs and classes we've been having. Last weekend was our Kriyaban retreat. There were over 100 people there, many online, 40 or 50. There were many classes and kirtans and mixing with other devotees. It was a wonderful time. And yesterday we had a wonderful class on preparation for taking Kriya. I see some of you are here. This morning we had a wonderful meditation on the second Kriya, meaning there's a lot of very deep activities that are happening. And these are the things that keep us in tune. I mean, I could really sit down now, but I won't. But if you are in attendance, online, in person, come to Kirtan, come to the programs, and there are many things online as well, then you find that, yes, you can pretty much get out of the chaos, or you can stay in the chaos. It really is up to you. Now, Master said that you'd be able to, we stand unshaken amidst the crash of breaking worlds, meaning we're living in Maya, we're living in a place of delusion. There are tests, there are trials, there are difficulties, there's upheaval on every level, not just our own life, but in the world and politically. And look at the weather, there's heavy snow in many places, there's flooding in other places, there's heat in other places. It's not going to stop. Master said it would get worse and worse and worse. And he also said that a smooth life is not a victorious life. So we're not looking for a smooth life. We're looking for a life that we get out of delusion, that we can get free. And Master would sometimes, it wasn't a lot, but he would, as we were reading in one of these readings, he would go to the movies. And he wouldn't ever watch the movie, probably. I mean, why did he go to the movies? He would go to get away from, so many things going on. So the disciples would say, well, Guruji, are you watching the movie? And his eyes would be closed, and he would say, I'm watching the big movie. Now, the question is, what movie are we watching? And then Master would say, but Divine Mother, look at the people. They're howling and they're screeching. They're watching this horror film, this movie. And Divine Mother said, tell them to look to my beam within. Beautiful. Tell them to go within. So this is the answer, not to get trapped, caught in the delusion in the movie. We're liking it, we're going with it. That's not our life. It is not our movie. It's a horror film. For the most part, it's a nightmare. Master said an interesting thing. He said, that's why babies cry when they first come into this world. They go, no, this isn't for me. The little kid who lives next door to him, he's crying all day long. Every day he's unhappy because this isn't our world. And so what can we do? Master did another wonderful thing. I think about these things because he showed us how to be within, how to go within, how to see the light, how to hear Om, how to hear him guiding us, how to be guided properly. And Master, one time there was a wishing well he was having the disciples move. And at Mount Washington, I believe it was, yes. And it fell on one of Master's feet. And you can imagine the excruciating pain that he would have gone through, isn't it? And his face was contorted and he was in pain. But then he said, now I will teach you a lesson. He took that moment to teach them. He said, when I put my focus, my awareness, my energy at the spiritual eye, I will get out of the pain. Wow, this is a beautiful example. And he did it, and his face was normal. And he said, now I'm going to show you when I bring my energy back down into the body, I will feel the pain. You understand what I'm saying? People are feeling the pain because this is where you live. My body, my problems, my worries, my thoughts, my mind. So Master did that. He brought his thoughts, his energy back up to the spiritual eye, and he showed them again. You don't have to go through that pain. And so how do we work with this? For us, what do we do? Well, our practices take us in an upward direction. They don't bring us down. So energization gives us energy. We feel full of energy, isn't it so? Hong Sa gives us peace, calmness to deal with whatever's happening. And we're always looking up here. Om gives us the feeling of expansion, a feeling of oneness, breaking out of the cage of the body, becoming one with that wonderful sound of Om, of the whole universe. Kriya brings our energy away from the senses and back into the spine and up to the spiritual eye. It doesn't take much. And our music is very uplifting. You all were singing before the satsang. I could hear you from the back. Very beautiful. Just even listening to it, chanting. We just did a wonderful chant. It's uplifting, isn't it? It's cleansing. And so we have those tools. Now, what else brings us up out of chaos, out of the delusion? Well, our guru's power, our guru's protection. They're with us. I know a man who, he was in Delhi, and he took his family he was in Gurgaon, took his family to Delhi, go shopping or whatever they were going to do. So he had a car protector. You know, you have these here? Yes. You have a car protector. I would get one if you don't have it. And he put it in his car. It hangs down from the rearview mirror, and it's got Babaji on one side, Master on the other. So he takes his family, parks his car, and they get out and they go wherever they were going, shopping or whatever. And what happens? A bus comes. I mean, they turned around and saw it. Smack. Finished the car off. And he realized those masters weren't protecting the car. They were protecting them. And I think if we know that if we pray to them, we call to them, our Master's grace is there. Master himself, he helped Dr. Lewis many times. Dr. Lewis said he was driving once an icy road, and he was swerving. He almost went off a bridge. I mean, this is big. And he said he felt like a big hand held his car. This was Master's protection. Dr. Lewis was sailing, you know that story, I won't go into it, but Master told him, if you're in Om, nothing will touch you. And Doctor looked at the spiritual eye, the seas calmed down, he got back home. Master was pacing back and forth, reading a story on the sea, saying, Doctor's in trouble, I tell you, Doctor's in trouble. Now, how did he know? Because Doctor was at the spiritual eye. He was tuning in to God, to Guru, instead of the problem. Everybody tunes into the problem. They call people on the phone about the problem. They Google about the problem. The problem is you are the problem. We have to be calling on God and gurus. And Master helped Dr. Lewis's daughter, who was an epileptic. And they were together, Master and Doctor, and Doctor had to go away for a phone call out of the room, and he came back and he looked just so upset. And Master said, well, what has happened? What has happened? And he told him, he said, okay, just a moment. It's so wonderful to read these stories. O ye of little faith, if you only believe, you only open, only ask. And so Master said, just a minute. And he stepped behind a partition. And then he came back out and he said, "Doctor, she's fine. And she'll never have another episode again." And she never did. So our Guru's power is with us. It's around us. And we have to be strong. Gain the strength in yourself. The tests come to make you stronger. You have to be strong on the path. I remember Swamiji said to me once, as I was going, everyone goes through tests. And he looked at me, he never would say, "Oh, you poor thing, let me help you." He just said, "Look what it takes to find God." And I got strong. And then he went a second step and said, "Look what I've had to go through." And the thing is, if you look at what Master went through. He goes to America. He lives there 32 years in materialistic America. He lives in the biggest cities. He teaches in the biggest auditoriums. I remember the one he had 5,000 people came. And Dr. Lewis said, "Master, look all the people. They all came." Master said, "Yeah, they came, but how many are coming back?" And he said, "They'll come to the classes." And Master said, "We'll be lucky if we get 5. How many came? 5 out of the 5,000. His best friend betrayed him. Master, when he came back to India in 35, 36, he wrote to Rajasi, said, "If it weren't for you and a couple of others, I would not go back to America." He was run out of town. He had all kinds of problems, financial problems. His beautiful Encinitas temple went down to the Pacific Ocean from erosion. Master says, "The best thing that ever happened to me." He didn't start crying. I see people crying. About what? My car. My car got dented, Look how strong he was. And he expects that of the disciples. Then I look at Swamiji's life, one test after another, like the beautiful song of Swamiji's. What was it? I can't remember the song, but it's "Get rid of one problem and you face its friend." And you think you're going to be all fine, just get rid of that. Then the friend comes and another friend, and he's got lots of friends because Divine Mother is testing. And Swamiji told the story of when he used to help build the buildings at Ananda Village. So, and this was at the meditation retreat. One building burnt down, maybe 2 burnt down. One fell down, and I don't know, the other one blew down or something. But anyways, so it wasn't easy. So then one day after the building fell down, after Swamiji and Jyotishji worked on it, Jyotishji felt, I got to go see how Swamiji's doing. Swamiji was lying on the ground on this sleeping bag. I mean, there weren't any buildings, so he was lying there, and Jyotishji said he thought Swamiji's he's feeling bad. So he goes over and to comfort him, and he just hears Swamiji saying, Swamiji didn't see him or anything, he's just there, and he's just saying, "Joy, joy, joy, joy." Isn't that beautiful? Take that as your mantra. The next time something happens, just even affirm it. Joy, joy. And then the next day, Swamiji goes to the local store, and he was singing. And the owner said, "How can you be singing? Didn't you just lose your temple?" She said, "When I lost my house, I cried for 6 months." She said, "How could you be singing?" And he said, "I lost the temple, not my voice." What a beautiful answer. I mean, and he could have said, "And not my joy." Who's going to take your joy away? And that's how he was. And then they went up. I got lots of stories. So they went up skiing. Jyotishji, Daviji, I don't know who else, maybe Seva, some in the car, up to Lake Tahoe, beyond their skiing. And the car tires were bald. So the car starts spinning. Swamiji was driving. And So they hit a bus. I can't remember the type of that bus, but it was a big, strong bus. What kind was it? Greyhound bus. Bop. So the car was finished and the bus had no dent. so then Swamiji, it was just wonderful. He gets out of the car, everybody's kind of shaken up, and the way Daviji tells it, when we hit the bus, the girl in the back went, "Swami!" And Swamiji turns around, "What?" So he gets out of the car, they all get out, and you just got to love the spirit. What I'm saying is, you can go either way. You can fall apart, or you can go up. And so Swamiji looks at the bus, he says, "Look, that bus is going exactly where we want to go. Let's get on the bus." So they got the car taken care of. They got on the undented bus. And the people on the bus said, "Isn't that your car?" And he said, "Yeah." And they said, "Aren't you upset about your car?" And he said, "Well, I'd be happy in 2 weeks. Why can't I be happy now?" What I'm saying is, these are our teachings. It's not just that Swamiji lived that way. He said, you need to live that way. They went skiing, and they had a good time. Instead of, "Oh my God, the car." You could And our own stories. I was remembering when I went with Ananda too, to help in Europe, to help start our first place there. Now it's been there 40 years or something like that. It started in the early 80s, and Jyotish and Daviji were there as well. People think, oh, they were having fun. Pizza, cappuccino, espresso, we didn't have any espresso. No cappuccino. We did have pizza though. But anyway, it was difficult. We were on the Swiss border. Jyotish and Daviji had sent their 8-year-old son back to the village for 9 months, I think it was, to go to school. Do you see the dedication that it takes and the strength that it takes? Surely there were a lot of tears there. And then there was no internet like now, so there was no way to communicate with anybody except for the phone on the wall. One phone, I think it was an amazing amount of money that it cost per minute to use that phone. So we just would look at it. We never picked that phone up. And nobody called us either. It cost so much money. So you have all these people who don't have anybody connecting with them. No, there's no Facebook, Twitter, Google, nothing. There's nothing. No social media. This was in 84, I think it was, something like that. And what did we do? Froze, basically. It was so cold, and there was so much to do, but you gained strength. I was so happy that I had a chance to gain strength, learn a language, help people. At first, we couldn't even answer the phone. Some people, they would speak in Italian, and we'd just go, "You get it. No, you get it. You get it." Because you just, "No, I can't do it." But then we learned. I stayed there 7 years. Some people like Nayaswami Shivani Arjuna, they've been there 40 years or something, Kirtani, but at the beginning, it's like build from the ground up. Who wants to do that? Who wants to gain that strength? That it'll take you your whole lifetime. And after that, then Swamiji had the idea, he says, "Dhyana, why don't you go to Africa and help there?" I said, "Africa's big." Like, where? And he said, "People are writing, get the letters, and go see, figure it out." And the thing is, there was never, here's the money, here's the plan, just here's your ticket. It was like, figure it out. Figure it out. What does that mean? Get strong in yourself. You talk to Master like I'm talking to him. And so it did happen. Living in a hut, no running water, no electricity, mosquitoes all over you all day, but wonderful devotees, wonderful. They took discipleship after a month of being there in Nigeria. This is where we went, and then Zimbabwe, and then South Africa. Now we have a work in South Africa. Some devotees took the Kriya in Nigeria. I mean, this is like, you understand what I'm saying? It's not about us. It's about service, giving, staying in tune, staying with Master. And then I had this question in my mind. I said, now, this topic is a good one, but what is underneath it? Why are we really here? That's the question, isn't it? Sure, there's chaos. Sure, there's confusion. Sure, there's problems. Sure, there's different. But why are we really here? To work out our karma, to find our guru, or to be with our guru if we found our guru, to be guided to God realization, self-realization, in the midst of everything. We didn't come to have a good time. We came to be focused, to be uplifted, and to help other people. So surely there's chaos. Everybody has it. Surely there's difficulties. Everybody has them, but you're going to go up or you're going to go down. I choose to go up. You make the choice. And as you make that choice, you find you get stronger and stronger and stronger. And Master said that feel that now you already have God. Don't be thinking, well, once I get out of this, then I'll have God, and then once I get out of that, then I'll have bliss. He said, just always think, now I have Him. And I'll end with the beautiful story of, well, there's a couple. I love this one too. It's time to stop. But anyway, I got two stories. So this one is about Milarepa. You know Milarepa, the great Tibetan yogi. And, his guru, Guru Marpa, he was strict, and he was like, you got to learn. You've got to get strength in you. And so he told him to build a house for him. And he had bricks or stone or something. And so he sends him out, and he says, okay, you build it over there. And so Milarepa goes, and alone, carrying the bricks, you think you have problems, carrying, and he builds the house. And then his guru says, I didn't tell you to build it over there. I told you to build it over there. And he says, no, Guruji, I'm sure you said, I didn't tell you, go over there. Isn't that your life a lot of times? I didn't tell you, go over there. So he takes the bricks down, whatever. And I love Swamiji tells this story, and he goes and he builds it another place. I mean, we think Divine Mother's satisfied with us. And then his Guru Marpa, comes out again and says, I didn't tell you to build it over there. I told you to build it over there. He says, Guruji, you told me. He says, build it over there. So he goes, takes it down again. Is this sounding familiar? He goes over and he builds up. This is our life. I didn't tell you that. Do this, do that. So he builds up again. And then this guru comes out. He says, I didn't tell you to build it there. I told you to build it over there. And then Milarepa says, I'm sure you told me. Now, this last part is hilarious. I love the way Swamiji tells it. I'm sure you told me to build it there. And Guru Marpa says, I must have been drunk then if I told you that. Hilarious. But anyway, these are the roller coasters that we go through in life. It happens. Look at the lives of the great saints and masters. Look at St. Francis. Look at Teresa of Avila. Look at everyone. Padre Pio. Look at the masters here. Look at, all you have to do is read Autobiography of a Yogi. They didn't have an easy, smooth life. Even Master ran away from his guru. Met him and then he ran away, went up to the Himalayas. Then he came back. So even everybody goes through it. And I think the final thing is, as Master said, feel you're there. I heard Swamiji say about 3 different people who had battled with things, health issues or whatever. They had battled. And Swamiji said that each of them, he felt that they had reached freedom after those battles. Wow. I mean, these were friends of ours. It wasn't like some person who was just meditating all the time. These were devotees who were just serving, meditating, doing their best. He said, I think he got free. I think she got free. I think she got free. Wow. That's what you want. Finish it off. Don't try to say, oh, maybe I'll do it next life. Get rid of it. Divine Mother's giving you that test. Don't brood. Do it. And gain the strength. And feel you have God right now. And so I wanted to end with the story of Chaitanya with his disciples who were asking him one day when they would find God. And he told one, well, you may be, I don't know, next lifetime. Another one said, Master, what about me? He says, well, you may be 2 or 3 lifetimes. And different ones he told. And then his foremost disciple came, and he says, Master, what about me? And everyone knew he was there, he already found God or whatever. And so his guru says, for you, it was like 300 lifetimes more. And he didn't, but the other disciples just hung their heads. What? And this disciple, he just walked out of the room. And they were so disturbed because this man was a great soul. Why would this happen to him? And so then they went out to comfort him, like what happened with Swamiji. They went out, let's go comfort our brother, because it's going to take him a long time to find God. So they go out, and they look, and he has his arms raised, and he's dancing in joy. And they said, brother, didn't hear what the guru said? You have a long time before you're going to find God. And he told me 1 life and him 2. And you got 300 in front of you. And he said, brothers, did you not hear? He said it. Like Master said it. Like Babaji said it. He said it. I would find God. The Master said it. If you do what I say, he said even 1/100th, you can get there. And at that moment, his guru walked out of the house and he touched him. And he found God right then. Keep it in your mind. Forget about the chaos. When we're dead and gone, it'll still be there. Just keep your face, keep your gaze on God, gurus, the practices, satsang, seva. This is why we came. And this is the way out. God bless you.